Hi, thank you so much for joining the panel today. So we're going to talk about how things has evolved over the period of time when you look at DOH as a category and the segment. Ma'am, you want to start first?
Is this on?
Yes.
I think, firstly, I think DOH over the time, which earlier was OH, and I think DOH is, of course, taken over in the last decade or so. Traditionally, typically, I think outdoor advertising was a lot about the frequency, the size, the visibility, the location. And over the time, I think what we've seen is there's a lot of tech innovation, interactive elements which have come in, which has really changed the kind of inventory that has come in for DOOH. And I think overall, right, like for digital outdoor, India is definitely catching up. But if you look at the global scale, there is a lot more which is happening, I think, in the era of 3D digital outdoor inventory. So yeah, massive change, not just in the inventory formats, but tech, personalization, and the capability to really use these inventory formats from a client's point of view.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Before I begin, let me just tell you, though I'm from D-Decor, this jacket is not from D-Decor. I'm interestingly matching with this chair. But yeah, coming to the point, how has DOH evolved? Let me put it like that. It's been 3 stages of DOH, I would say. It has a double whammy for outdoor as such, right? First of all, you have to compete not today with the other board on the same stretch. Today, your competition is with the digital medium today. You know, when you're traveling, you're on the phone all the time. For example, a newspaper competes, a TOI would compete probably with an HT, but in outdoor, the competition is not with your likewise board on the same stretch, but it's definitely with digital medium. So how do you tell your story in those 4 seconds, plus you compete with the digital is where it's coming. That's why all the traditional medium that you see has been evolving itself. Say, for example, TV is going towards CTV. You know, even print, the magazines are dying a slow death, so they are also trying to evolve as a digital first medium. So is out of home. So for us, what has it happened? For example, in 2024, all our budgets for out of home had become totally digital as such. None of the boards that we did across the country was at all a static board. It was completely a digital first board strategy that we had. Has it helped us? Yes, because we are a visual brand. We are all about beauty, vanity, lovely photography that we do. How do we showcase those visuals, right? So with the help of digital boards, we could very well do that because of, and that helped us have a lot of impact and storytelling that could happen. The evolution also happened in terms of the kind of content that's happening. Of course, we have not tried yet the anamorphic content that's happening by various brands. Last year, I was on a jury panel for one of the out-of-home awards. I saw a lot of brands experimenting with storytelling by using anamorphic content. So that is the second stage of evolution of the out-of-home, I would say. First stage, like I said, was for making all the boards digital. Of course, not all. There's a long way to go. And the third stage, I would say, in the evolution journey would be about the programmatic story, where how you can actually target the right audience at the right time and make creative, which is talking to that moment for that scene. So rather than mass, you're talking about micro moments. So digital has evolved. Just to give you 2 examples, probably which I had seen personally was for ZEE5, what they had done during one of their show launches. They had actually, during the morning time, they said, start your day with the laughter. You know, while in the evening time, the same creative turned into say that, unwind your day with laughter during that show. So in fact, let me tell you that I took inspiration from there, and you know what, one of the creatives that we had, for example, we have something called as blackout curtains, you know. So the evening time, so the daytime we used to have creatives regarding blackout curtains, where you have too much sun, it's a sunny day, so can we have blackout curtains for your homes? At the same time, in the evening time when they are returning homes, we had, because we have launched a new brand called Fabricare recently, so where you can drop any stain, you can clean off easily. So any house party at your home, you know, use Fabricare, you know, something like that. So that, but everything was done manually, so I would not say, so probably, I'm sure your next questions would come to that probably, that, you know, how have we evolved in that sense? So this is the 3 stages of evolution that has happened. How far have we reached is a question to ponder about.
Sure, interesting. Rajat, what's your point of view?
Thank you, Deep. Good afternoon, everyone. before I start, I want a point of view to put forward that DOH is not a standalone domain. It is part of a larger domain which is OH, right? And OH is one of the oldest traditional media in the country today, almost 100 years old, a century old. Probably the first billboard in all its avatars is, celebrating its 100th birthday today. And DOH is a media which is digital, right? So after all the evolution of OH that has happened over the years, from hand painted billboards to flex printing and newer and visually delightful formats, DOH in its first avatar came almost a little more than 2 decades back, when enterprising media owners digitized boards largely in the ambient space. But probably it was ahead of times, and there was a lot of apprehension with all stakeholders, clients, agencies, everybody alike. And as it happens when you are ahead of times, either you sustain or you die out. And that's what happened. In its second avatar, which happened probably some 7 to 8 years back, when DOH was coined as DOH. And there was a faster acceptance, probably because of the Gen Zs and the younger millennials getting into the audience segment, who are the digital native, audience. They relate more to a digital media or a digital interaction. DOH largely, I believe, how it has evolved over the period of time is that largely it is into two, groups, we can put it. Like one which is competing, I would say, or coexisting, I might say, with the traditional billboards, unipoles, bus shelters, that is the DOH on the street, right? And the other is in the ambient space, like malls, airports, corporate parks, right? Like Udita just mentioned about, anamorphic, you also, mentioned. But the likelihood of doing a creative innovation on a DOH should also be possible, like which is not possible in Mumbai today because of the authority injunction, right? So that is a big question mark today, that if I have to put a static display on a DOH, then how is it different from putting it in a static billboard, right? So with programmatic injunction, with creative innovations, DOH has evolved a lot, but the way forward is, I think, longer and larger.
Sure, interesting. So do you feel that in the programmatic pipes, if you look at, so where do we see, where are we heading now? So because certain things were evolving over the period of time, so where are we heading now?
I think programmatic DOH has started. It's already happening. However, it's not happening to the entire inventory that is there today. There is no sanctified data on the total screens available, but it is around somewhere around 180,000, 190,000 screens in the country today, and which will also involve the ambient space DOH, right? Which will also involve that. The take is very different when it is ambient, and the take is very different when it is media on the street. OH had always had a lot of challenges, right from day one till today, 100 years later also. Probably, see, all media has its sets of nuances, right? We are all here, outdoorians sitting out here, and we would happily agree or disagree that OH tops that list of nuances, right? So the similar state is with also today when it comes to programmatic, because the number of media owners is large, and to integrate with each one is a slightly difficult, or might be, I'll say, a slow process, right? But the way forward for DOH is programmatic, because if we are not able to offer programmatic to DOH, then the biggest element that can be done on a digital integration is not happening then.
Sure, thanks. Just Saket, to you and Udita, for how do you see the value proposition of DOH in the media mix? How do you define it?
So in terms of value, I think I was talking to him as well. When we had launched D-Decor a couple of years back, I think we had painted the city red with digital boards, honestly. In fact, we always take pride to say that, D-Decor was built, I'm sure everyone knows about D-Decor, right? So was built on the platform of out of home initially, right? Recently, we launched this new brand from the house of D-Decor, which is Fabricare 2 years back. So if you ask me if out of home is the main medium today for us, the answer is no. But having said that, since we are a very visual brand, it makes a very important medium for us because you can show your story, you can show your visuals very interestingly, especially with digital boards. And plus the impact. So my top of the funnel objective is very well met with out of home in terms of awareness, or if you want to have some very quick offers or some Diwali burst that you want to do. Out of home plays a very important role in my overall scheme of media mix. In fact, we had, I remember in the initial years, we had this purple couch with Shah Rukh and Gauri, that being our brand ambassadors. The purple couch had become so popular because of out of home that everyone at the stores were asking for, "Mujhe wo wala purple couch chahiye, wo wala purple kapda chahiye." So that could happen because the impact that an out of home delivers. Of course, that time it was traditional medium, and now all the more with DOH happening, you can tell a story in a much more effective way, and you can tell the visuals in a much more effective way, which probably a print or even for that matter digital cannot achieve, because in your small format you can't achieve that thing. So to answer your question, yes, in terms of value proposition, it is today also a big part of my media mix.
Okay, great.
I think for us, right, the take is a little bit different because, of course, I think not being a hardcore retail brand, I think, to be very honest, outdoor or even digital outdoor has never been an active part of our communication strategy. But I think with the developments that all Rajat spoke of, right, the opportunity to integrate tech into the DOH space, as well as an opportunity because the platform has become a lot more interactive. It really helps us to be able to include this in our communication plans going forward. And why I particularly say that also is one of the key reasons is penetration. So we feel that over the last 5-7 years, there's been a difference in the way the format has been built, where there are opportunities at transit places, so airports, which are more relevant to us, corporate houses, or even retail malls, etc., which weren't there a decade back. So I think these movements and these changes has overall helped us as a brand to kind of integrate this in our overall communication plan. And I think even the opportunity to really hyper personalize, right, has brought in higher reach, I would say, more targeted communication, as well as eventually more ROI. And as a brand, that's what we're looking for. So for us, the value that DOH today brings is a lot more because of what the format is able to offer.
Great. So just to ask you that, you know that you get clients to get on board with DOH as an offering. So how do you see the media mix changing in clients' mind? How do you see that?
Yeah, there is definite shift in the media mix from the day DOH would have actually picked up till today. It also depends on how the brands lay faith on the usage of DOH. It is just not about, just as I mentioned previously, that it is not about just putting up a creative on DOH. Right? If there is a media which is 5 to 6 times more costly than a traditional media, and there is a huge investment that the brands are doing, better use it to what it is at best. Right? There are always constraints. I spoke about the constraint in Mumbai currently, but if I look at the total out-of-home scenario, I think the contribution of DOH now is between 10 to 12%. For us, it is slightly higher. It is probably 18 to 20% now. However said, that has been intentionally done by how we could integrate and leverage DOH and its powers, like anamorphic content on DOH. We did one for one of our brands. It won us a lot of accolades, and while we created the end-to-end process of delivering that sort of a anamorphic content. The other is because of this ongoing debate that whether a static is better or a DOH is better. So we also did one innovation where we integrated the goodness of both traditional and DOH. On a traditional billboard, we put a digital screen. and we integrated that with, pack shots, and it was done for Nescafe, and it won a lot of accolades last year in the award segment. So what I'm trying to say is that to innovate, you have this media. How well you can innovate will increase the pie slowly and steadily.
Sure, interesting. Udita, I have a question for you. So what impact have you seen when you integrate your social campaign along with DOH? What kind of impacts have you seen?
So I think the very relevant question for us right now, because we actually recently ran this campaign, and even taking a cue from what Rajat mentioned, I think bringing together all the formats is key. Outdoor, DOH is one part of it, but how do we use innovation in that space becomes important. What we were able to do recently, right, with our agency partners as well as support from our vendors, is really use flight information data system. So we, of course, being an international aviation brand, anything at the airport is just absolutely the right target audience for us, and we were able to pick up flight information data system, which is very dynamic in nature. Mind you, the gate numbers etc. get decided only 6 to 8 hours before. The flight schedule, all of that is pretty much last minute. We all are aware, we've all taken a flight at some point, right? So we actually had our creatives tailor-made to each of these international flights taking off from Delhi airport as well as Bombay airport, and by the back-end system, it was plugged in at the right moment at the right gate. So I think bringing in that innovation is important. What I also really like, and to answer what you asked me, that what is the extension of it on social, I think today any campaign cannot be looked at it in a silo. We have to look at multiple mediums together. Like Saket mentioned, everyone's on their phone, right? How much attention are people paying? So we basically target them when they're looking outside their car or when they're on their phones. So when we actually ran this billboard campaign, we had a very strong social and PR campaign to support it. A lot of aviation geeks talking about it, a lot of influencers talking about it, to make sure it was a well-rounded, holistic campaign. So it wasn't just about the DOH opportunity or visibility, because then that would mean only one end of the spectrum. But we had an equal investment, opportunity, visibility on digital, timed around the same time. The messaging was the same. So we feel there's extension. I think one more point I want to bring out is about contextual communication. I think in today's day and age, the key important thing with content being so big, we realize the importance of being contextually relevant to what is being spoken about right now, being a part of the right conversations. And I think earlier we felt that digital were the only platforms which helped us talk about things contextually. So a digital platform would give you an opportunity to build contextual messaging because the turnaround time is faster. But today we do believe that with DOH as well, with digital outdoor, you can do that. You can bridge that gap to bring in contextual messaging. So earlier with static, only Amul was doing that with that contextual advertising, right? And I think right now with digital outdoor, it's opened up. That entire pie and that gamut has opened up for everybody. So the campaign that we were able to run, contextually relevant to the people sitting at the boarding gate or passing by, going to the Mumbai airport, trying to get onto their flight. And I think contextual messaging in today's day and age is key. And I'm glad that it's been able to, this format has been able to adapt to it.
I think it was fantastic. People have seen it. It was like great work for that matter. Rajat, from a client perspective, you want to talk about something where anything which you can talk about, any impactful thing which has been done.
Okay, so like Udita just spoke about integration, and we have seen that it's true that we cannot in silo talk about DOH, because DOH by itself might not be able to deliver, and we will never able to know. Why? Because the brand is doing so many activities, so we might not know. It can only come when there is a tech integration with the media to know that, because it's a shared media, right? It's a shared media. There are a lot of apprehensions with brand also to go up on shared media. And if I talk about measurement and metrics and ROI, the OH industry by itself has been struggling for centuries to come out with a metrics, and which probably is still not, because we don't have a centralized metrics. Brands put a big question mark, And because every agency might have their own methodology to the madness, but we need a centralized metrics, right? Which is not there. There's a lot of work that is going on. Probably very soon something will come up. But now all the exercise that has gone is about extract. Hello. So all we are trying now is to extract, data out of a touch point, right? Whether the touch point is a static media or a digital media, there is no segregation at this point. Now when DOH is a shared media, like in Mumbai, there are 6 slots, like 10 seconds, 10 second slot, 1 minute loop, right? The media is 5-6 times more costly, the same traffic. So I'm getting one traffic. These are questions that clients ask today, that how do I measure my efficacy, right? So if there can be a tech integration, because it's a tech platform, there's a lot of opportunity for tech enablers, that if the audience measurement is synced with the slot that is running, probably that can be a more transparent data that can be given, because now everybody is speaking data and big data, and that is the only thing that can suffice the success of any media or media set.
Okay, great. Saket, you want to talk about anything which you have done, which you found impactful? You've been doing this for quite a number of years now.
So honestly, I mean, the digital, like I told you, the digital OH, like I told you, has worked really well for us. In fact, recently we are going to launch a new store in Andheri. Our first line item in my media is out of home for that, because that will drive a lot of value. One thing we tried, and I would say, let me say my failure, like we failed rather than saying my positive ones, is like using of QR code for that matter. While, because the entire world is going into a QR code explosion, everyone is doing QR code everywhere, we thought, chalo, hum bhi try kar lete, like let's try a QR code thing. We wanted people to come to our website, fill in their name. We wanted data, basically. We wanted data, like every other client. But having said that, using the right QR code is important, how you use it in the right environment and how you use it in the right context, right? For me, after my learning, not just with my brand, with other brands also, I've seen how people do it with QR code, and internationally how people are using QR codes. You need to have the right context in terms of if it's, for example, an instant gratification where you can get immediate some discount vouchers or something like that. I think QR code works really well. That is one of the, what do I mean by the context. Second is, if I'm talking about the environment, we, for example, like I'm talking about, use it the wrong environment. For example, if we use it at the billboard, I don't think so that's the right place to be. You will not stop to scan that QR code, right? It has to be at a mall, at an environment where, or maybe in a metro, though as a brand we will never do in a metro station, because we are a little premium brand probably. So to optimize on a cost, we would probably do it at an airport probably, right? So that's the right medium to use a QR code for that matter, right? So this is where I think, in terms of the difference that happens, what brands should do and what brands should. So you should not use your strategies just like a copy paste kind of a thing anywhere. Adding to the point where I think she was a brilliant example that she gave about the Cathay Pacific, about the social media bit, which I read a lot, I saw myself a lot of cases. Today it's all about the omni-channel experience, right? You cannot live in silos like she was mentioning, right? So a brand should always think not just digital first, like people say, they should also think all media first, right? For example, the Make Santoor example that happened with Taj Mahal tea, I think the popularity that it would have got was more on the social media rather than the out of home that happened in one of the locations, right? So how that made the entire campaign much more successful, right? Similarly, for example, in social media, internationally I was reading the Calvin Klein's, it had a hashtag called My Calvin Klein Look. So that hashtag, became so popular that people were posting their look with the Calvin Klein, and those were being transferred to the out-of-home creatives, right? Similarly, the Spotify, which happened in Delhi, I think, and in international level as well, when they do the entire Wrapped campaign, at the end of the year, right? When they actually see what kind of music that I heard through the entire year, that's my Wrapped story, right? And so whatever was the most popular rap stories that were happening, the most heard songs during the entire year, that was being transferred to your digital billboards, right? And when a person is passing through that, when I relate to it, that is when the entire amalgamation of social and your out of home happening. So in India, I mean, anyways, so that's I would say for D-Decor, and I would say not too much innovation happened from us, because I think digital helped us in a way become an innovation for us because of a visual medium that it provides to us.
So how do you see that, how do you use it? How often do you use it? Like how frequently you made it a mixed media model? Yeah.
So ours is a very, our category is not through the year kind of a category, right? I mean, you don't, we come to the lives of the consumers once in 3 years, 4 years. You don't change your ghar ka parda every year, right? You don't change your upholstery every year, right? So if you have to come in someone's life in once in 3 years, 4 years, that's a very difficult marketing job, to do. So and especially, it's very seasonal in that sense. Till today, festivals bring in a lot of, change in the homemakers that you typically, or during weddings. So I think these are two very, very important seasonal, calendar that we have during the year, where we do a lot of activity, be it out of home, be it digital, or be it any other medium. I think cinema, while this platform is not for cinema, that is the only medium I think we kind of do through the year.
Always on.
To be relevant in the minds of the consumers. But I think for out of home, I think these are the two seasonal things that we typically are into.
Okay. So Rajat, what do you think in terms of how the current experience with the clients, when you interact with clients per se? So do they take this media mix or that part of activity on DOH on a regular basis, or on a sustainable basis, or only on the campaign basis?
Of course, it depends on the brand objective at that point in time. We recently did one for the brand KFC, and it was all in all DOH campaign, because the brand requirement was to bring about the new product they were introducing and announcing, and we did a very, very nice and visually appealing anamorphic display. Now anamorphic has to be on DOH, right? So it depends on the brand objective and what we intend to do with that. Similarly, if I talk about any client, any brand today, there is DOH in the media mix. Also because of the fact that in certain places that you need to be, you have only DOH options to take. So you need to be present also in certain touch points, because outdoor is all about people and places. Places where the people whom you define as your target segment dwell the most, right? So the touch point is very important. What media you go up is secondary, right? So because of that, because there is a lot of DOH coming up. It's coming up so fast that every day there is a new DOH coming up somewhere, right? So that is there, but I will also reiterate the point that there has to be a representation of all stakeholders to the authorities to bring about the goodness of DOH. Else, it will be a very difficult thing to take this forward if there are limitations to the usage of DOH, right?
And how do you see the creative moving and adaptability of creatives across? Because sometimes you have vertical, sometimes it's horizontal.
For a campaign,
It's
yes, I
seamless?
agree to
It's
that.
seamless?
So for a campaign specifically, cross media, it has to be a similar kind of a creative, otherwise it doesn't look like a campaign. So that sync has to be there, whether a DOH or static or online, offline, whatever is being done for a campaign, because it's a multimedia, it's a omni-channel like you mentioned, right? No, but coming to this, there also has to be some sort of a relevance to the kind of media that has been erected for DOH, because there are so many formats. It is very easy to adapt a still creative. It is very difficult to adapt a DOH creative if it is a animated GIF or it is a video. It's very difficult. If it is from a horizontal square format to a vertical format, it is very difficult. To also bring about that essence, because when the video was shot, probably they didn't even think. So it was shot in a 1080 ratio, so
Typical client problems.
I was like, ask the client, it's tough. And
As a client, tell me as a client. Then.
multiple adapts, multiple changes, etc., different formats. I would even say, like what Rajat briefly touched upon, right? We are a pan-India brand. We have a presence across India. We are an international brand. every time we have to advertise in a particular city, so you're talking to a different person. Even if you want to run a 360-degree campaign across the country, you're talking to different people for the same medium because it's so privatized at such a level. So, like, we restarted our flights from Hyderabad this year, so we had some DOH going out at the Hyderabad airport. Then we had to talk to Chennai airport last year for a different kind of communication campaign, etc. So how can we bring in that synergy? Where honestly, if I have to go to print, it's easier for me to go to one brand and then just get like pan-India editions and just plan that, right? So from a marketing execution point of view, operationally still very heavy, and I think that's something we need to find a way out of.
So Udita, I'm not making a pitch, but I'm sitting beside you. You have one neck. So you need to get an agency on board.
No, we have the agency who's doing it, but still, I think we still have to approve all the
Practical challenge, what she's talking about, which is there. Great. Anything you want to add here?
So I think in terms of creative, definitely now you have all those heat maps and whatnot comes from our agency as well. That what is the first thing that people will notice? Is the brand getting registered or not? So for example, just one anecdote I'll tell you. I mean, a couple of years back, we have Shah Rukh and Gauri as our brand ambassadors, right? So one of the in our creative, I mean, Gauri is wearing jeans and it was like a torn jeans, like how you was part of it. So the heat map revealed that the entire attention is going to that part of it rather than your brand or whatever else or your messaging or something. So we had to change our creative for that matter. Like in terms of adaptability, yes, that's a big issue that happens, especially in DOH because you're not just making a static creative, you're trying to bring some dynamic element to it. So to adapt to different formats, it gets very difficult. But yeah, that's the truth of the story that you have to live with it. But having said that, you have very standard formats, so to say, especially in Bombay, a city like Bombay. In city like Pune, we have also switched to DOH completely, even in tier 1 cities as such, be it Ahmedabad, be it Pune or any other city, so we are completely DOH friendly first.
So you don't do any static, any...
I mean, since last year we shifted our focus completely towards DOH.
Okay, so let me just touch upon quickly, we have 5 minutes? Time is up, 2 minutes? Okay, great. So should I address the vital elephant in the room in that case, measurability? So what do you want to talk about? What is your point of view on that as a client?
Okay, as a client, I think please excuse me, I think everyone's going to hate me, but this is what my perspective is. For me, I think it's rather than DOH, it's still in the phase of LOOH, which is a LED OOH in a way. Of course, there are a lot of people are doing some work, which is the initial nascent stage. We are still hardware first, not data first. I mean, I keep asking from my agency, give me data in terms of programmatic, how can and especially for a premium brand like us, I don't want to be at a street where there's anyone and everyone going to be there, right? So how do I be more targeted? How do I get more specific data is what is more important. But that's, I think, the evolution of the third stage. I'm sure it's already started. A lot of brands are already doing it, but it's not mass adoption has not happened in that.
I think pretty much similar. I think the challenge is, with really kind of managing the metrics and to be able to track the return or even the success of the campaign still stays even with first party data, etc. But I think hopefully it will get better from here.
Okay, Rajat, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You want to say something first?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention here that, we talk about metrics, we talk about data points on out of home. Out of home by far is the only unsubscribed media, right? For every other media, you need to subscribe to something. Either you have to tune into a channel, or either you have to subscribe to a newspaper, periodical, you have to have a Facebook account, you have to go and check your Facebook, get into an ad. Outdoor is flat on your face. You cannot avoid. So it is an unsubscribed media. It is more about attention than impression, right?
Yeah.
So DOH is adding a layer above, adding to that attention because of its dynamicity. So that is what my mission was when I mentioned that.
So that is my next question to you is, where do you see we are moving from DOH to PDOH seamlessly? Where do we see that?
I think PDOH is the future because that is how, as I just mentioned, there is this generation shift happening. So if you look at the consumer band, the Gen Zs have already entered and they are the first digital native, generation. So they will push the millennials out very shortly, and they will be taking all the decisions at the client end, at the consumer end, and we need to be what they feel they look. If digital on other platforms is programmatic, then digital and out of home better be programmatic.
Sure. Udita, quickly, last point from you, then I'll take close ones again.
No, I think for us, I would just leave everyone with the fact that as a client, we know there are challenges, but how do you make it work in the media mix? Yes, tracking can be a challenge, etc. But if you're using it at the top of the funnel, there is an indirect correlation to a lot of things that we see moving, whether it's brand affinity, leads, etc. So I would look at it in a positive way. I think the evolvement of the DOH space is helping us more than anything else.
Okay, the closing points, I would just say, we have evolved quite a bit, but are we still there, like what's happens at the international level? No. From mass to precision targeting is what we expect as a client. From mass to more dynamic content, for example, if I want to run an ad without manual intervention, a specific moment, I want to target a specific target, I want to target in terms of creatives, that is what I expect as a client. So basically, I just want to say the canvas is there, the magic needs to happen. And the magic can only happen when programmatic happens.
Great. Thank you so much for being so candid. Really appreciate that. Thank you so very much being today here.